The Zephyrian fleet hung in Earth's orbit like a constellation of death, their biometallic hulls gleaming against the void. Admiral Kethvar had expected the standard capitulation broadcast within hours of their arrival. Instead, something far stranger emanated from the blue planet below. Music. Not just any music, a thunderous, defiant roar that seemed to shake the very fabric of space around Earth. The Zephyrians' translation matrices struggled to process the aggressive harmony, the driving percussion, the raw emotion bleeding through every frequency. What is this? Cacophony? Kethvar's deputy commander Nixal winced as another wave of the strange transmission washed over their receivers. Kethvar studied the readings with growing unease. In 47 conquered worlds, he had never encountered anything like this. Usually there were desperate pleas for mercy, attempts at negotiation, or resigned silence. But this was something else entirely. On Earth's surface, the response had been swift and unanimous. Within minutes of the alien ultimatum, surrender, or face extinction, every radio station, television network, streaming service, and communication satellite had switched to the same broadcast. Not a message from world leaders or military commanders, but a song that had been written centuries earlier, now serving as humanity's defiant battle cry. The phenomenon had started in London, where BBC Radio had spontaneously begun playing the Anthem. Within moments, stations across Europe joined in perfect synchronization. Then America, Asia, Africa, every inhabited continent adding their voices to the cosmic chorus. Even pirate radio stations and amateur broadcasters contributed to the global harmony. Dr. Sarah Chen, director of the Global Communications Network, watched the impossible coordination unfold from her control room. "There's no central command issuing this," she reported to the Emergency Council. "Every broadcaster, every DJ, every streaming algorithm, they're all choosing the same song simultaneously." The music wasn't just confined to official channels. Smartphone speakers crackled with the anthem in subway tunnels. Car radios blasted it from traffic-clogged highways. Emergency broadcast systems that should have been warning of evacuation instead carried the same defiant melody. Even the International Space Station's communication array had joined the planetary chorus. Above them, the Zephyrian fleet found their own systems beginning to malfunction. The human transmission wasn't just audio, it carried something deeper, something that interfaced with their bio-neural networks in ways their technology couldn't explain. "Sir," Nixal's voice carried a tremor of concern, "our navigation systems are singing." It was true. The organic computers that piloted their ships had somehow synchronized with Earth's broadcast. The melody that spoke of human defiance, of standing against impossible odds, of fighting until the last breath. It was now embedded in the very consciousness of their fleet. Kethvar tried to understand what he was witnessing. The Zephyrians were conquerors, but they were also scholars. They had studied thousands of species, cataloged their responses to overwhelming force. Fear was universal. Despair was common. Rage was expected. But this was something unprecedented, an entire species responding to extinction with art. The song spoke of ancient battles, of standing firm against tyranny, of ordinary people finding extraordinary courage. It wasn't a plea or a prayer, it was a declaration. Humanity wasn't asking for mercy. They were announcing their intention to resist with everything they possessed. On the planet below, something remarkable was happening. The shared musical experience was creating connections between humans who had never met. A farmer in rural Kansas felt linked to a shopkeeper in Mumbai. A student in Sao Paulo found herself humming in harmony with a fisherman off the coast of Io, Norway. Borders, languages, and old grievances seemed insignificant compared to this moment of species-wide unity. The anthem played on, and with each repetition, more voices joined in. Not just human voices, whales in the ocean depths added their haunting songs to the mix. Dogs howled in backyards, somehow matching the pitch. Even the wind through city streets seemed to carry the melody. Commander Nixal's readings showed something that defied their understanding of physics. "Admiral, the planet's electromagnetic field is harmonizing. The entire biosphere is resonating with their broadcast. For the first time in his military career, Admiral Kethvar felt something he had never experienced in battle: uncertainty. Not about his fleet's superior firepower, that remained unchanged, but about what victory would mean against a species that responded to death with defiance, to fear with music, to the end of their world with a song that seemed to make the very cosmos listen. The anthem reached its crescendo, and across Earth, 7 billion voices rose together. In apartments and farmhouses, in hospitals and schools, in bunkers and on rooftops, humanity sang their refusal to quietly disappear into the night. The Zephyrian biocomputers, infected by the strange music, began making calculations their programmers had never intended. Equations of courage, algorithms of hope, probability matrices that factored in the incalculable variable of a species that faced extinction with a song. As the music swelled to its final notes, Admiral Kethvar made a decision that would puzzle military historians for generations to come. Instead of opening fire, he opened a communication channel. "Humans of Earth," his translated voice reached every receiver on the planet. "We have heard your response to our ultimatum." The music faded, leaving only silence and the sound of 7 billion hearts beating in anticipation. "We withdraw our demand for surrender. Your planet is under our protection now." In the end, humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology or their numbers. It was their ability to transform fear into art, desperation into defiance, and the end of everything into the beginning of a song that the universe itself couldn't help but learn. The Zephyrians departed that day, but the memory of Earth's anthem traveled with them, spreading from ship to ship, world to world, until the galaxy itself knew the truth. There was a species that met extinction with music, and somehow, impossibly, the music had won.